Ooh, I'm live. Oh, okay. Boom. I don't know if you can hear me. We're gonna this is brand new. Setting this up. Boom. First time out here doing that first time. So no idea. Didn't really prepare. I have a general idea of things that I had computer systems spit out for me to talk about. But yeah, I mean, literally in a studio, podcast studio that I have sat in a couple times, recorded myself through the laptop, but nothing like this. Not plugged in live streaming, as they say. I think the mic system's working. I'm using the studio mic provided by me that I just plugged into my laptop. And, things were going up and down when I was talking in the preview, so I assume the sound's coming across. I hope I look wizardly enough today. Hold on. Did bring myself a scarf. Boom. 'Cause it's wintertime where I'm at. So the scarf seemed legit. Can't really see it because of the giant mic. I'm gonna see if I can move this down. Although this little black thing's a little broken on this one, so kind of wobbles and weebles down when I move this thing. I don't know how close I have to have it to my mouth. You should probably loosen this before you adjust it, but I'm just gonna jam it because that's my style. I like to jam things. I don't know if that's the right way to put that, but that's how I put it. So, boom, welcome to episode 1 on the channel, the eternal, see, I don't even know my stuff yet. The eternal wizard sage of Falafadorf. Um, so we can get into that a little bit. Let's just give a couple introductions about this channel in general. So the channel's name is actually the Eternal Wizard Sage of Falafadorf. Um, you know, been growing my hair and beard for a couple of years now. Boom, had a kid. Thought, hey, let's grow this out because I've never done that. And then let's let the kid decide when to cut it. So that's the game I'm on right now. And as it's grown, you know, what has grown out of my body, it seems to me that it looks wizardly. At least I like to think that about myself. So I just went with wizard because it sounded right, felt right. I like to look it. Do I look it? No. I probably look homely. As some of my friends like to say, you look like you live under the Burnside Bridge. I don't know what that means, but people say it to me, tell me I need to trim it up, clean it up, but I don't think wizards do. And that's what I'm going for. So that's the name of the channel. The name Falafadorf arrived because I used to run some summer camps. And I mean, this was years ago. While running the summer camps, you know, I used to say that I used to say I was an alien. My actual name is Falafadorf, and I just came to this planet to hang out, have a good time, go on some field trips, and party at summer camps. But Tyler's just my pseudo human name that I'm using to get this job. But my real name is Falafadorf, and I reside on the planet Nebula. That's what I said. Came so it just kind of I stuck with me. I liked the name Falafadorf, so I rolled with it. And then as my new dynamic has come from the birth of a child, and then just not cutting the hair, which when he was born, I shaved it clean off, trimmed it so there was nothing on my head, and then just decided I'd go with it. It's got some curliness to it. Everything's backwards on the screen. I don't know what's happening with me. So anyway, wizard seemed right. Falafador glued to that real quick, and I loved it for myself. So then I rolled with it. So now I'm in this new phase where, I like to say I'm a wizard named Falafador. That's where the name, the eternal wizard sage of Falafador arrived. How long will that stick with me? I don't know. Maybe it's me, maybe it's not. We'll see. Gosh, I can't get this mic centered on my mouth. It's kind of freaking me out. But either way, now let's go into the introduction of the show. So, the show, as you will read in the description, says honestly, truthfully, authentically you. It's kind of the name of the game I'm on, based off what I do for an actual living. Because this is, I mean, episode one. Don't even know. I may never come back again. But for now, what I do for an actual living has a lot to do with learning to be more honest with ourselves, learning to be more truthful to yourself so that you can slowly get closer and closer to who you are authentically, which, you know, for the people I work with, might be becoming a welder, might be driving a garbage truck, might be making millions of dollars selling product online. I have no idea. I just know that through experience, the more authenticity that you express, the more you will naturally gravitate to what is best suits you as an individual, and the happier you will be. Money, fame, fortune, good looking spouse, 6 kids, 0 kids, that stuff is irrelevant once you become authentic because, you know, you might be happiest with $70,000. That might be what you're content with. So that's the name of the game. That's kind of what this is about. At least the long format live streams. That's what this is going to be about. Is learning through my own stories. Maybe people will come on as guests. That would be beautiful. I've tried to piece people into this, but I just had to just run with it myself because I haven't gotten anybody to really commit and, do those things, which is understandable. Not their game. This is my game. I like talking. I've been told by many people I talk too much. So this is probably a good format for me to just gab. Do I need people watching this and listening? No. If anything, I would tell you close your social media accounts, get offline, and go plug into the world. Plug into people, plug into your career, plug into walking through a park in nature by yourself. I don't care what you do, but the screen is probably not you. So it's kind of there's two sides to this coin where most of the show I'm going to talk about ways that have worked for me. So maybe something to try for yourself that maybe help lead you to being more of you, to finding your truth, your honesty, to develop your authenticity. Does that come from watching YouTube channels? No, probably not. Maybe, probably not. Does it come from, scrolling through reels on the Instas? Oh, how many social media accounts? This is literally the only thing that I'm doing right now anyway. I mean, I have had stuff in the past, and then slowly and slowly I gave up more of that. And, you know, it's hard to get me to even respond to a text message, you know? I'm wondering if this mic is working. I'm really hoping it is. The sound bar is not going up real high, so I don't know if I need to turn the volume up. I'm just gonna do that. Now I don't know if I'm screaming into it, but maybe. Maybe this first episode, I mean, nobody's gonna watch it, let's be honest. I didn't tell anybody I'm doing this today, you know? I yeah, nobody knows, not even the spouse. Nobody knows I'm here right now except for you, which, looking at my screen, 0 people are watching. That's okay. Again, going back to I talk too much, okay? I've had multiple coworkers, the last staff I hired told me, "You talk a lot." So, maybe this is my jive. Maybe I just need to come on and get some of my expression out, some of my talking out, some of my words out so that I talk less throughout the day. Give other people a chance. My job is literally picking people up and just hanging out with them. Hopefully, I'm rubbing off gold nuggets. A lot of times I'm giving them chunks of coal, you know? I'm still trying to figure it out too. I haven't met anybody who has figured it out. A lot of people online, you know, rich people, fortunate people. I don't know. A lot of people online seem like they got it figured it out. What do their lives look like on the backstory? I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to them, find out. Because, I assume it's not as smooth of a process as it looks on the forefront. Side note, what do I do with this background? I need something, and it's a soft gray. That's kinda nice. Definitely need more light in here because 'cause I've got some shadowing, but, they do have one of those little light screens, so maybe I'll try that next time, you know? This is just a for rent studio. Um, yeah, forgot where I was at. That's part of my problem with talking too much. Either way, so the show is honestly, truthfully, authentically you. The long format of this, my goal is to pump these out once a week. I get a free studio rental for 1 hour. So in that hour frame, I gotta set up, get up, go up, live it up, and then close it down. Yeah. So we'll see how much time I get out of that, you know? Will I invest and pay for a second hour at $15 a pop? Maybe. Maybe. I mean, I don't really care if I make any money off this. This is really, again, for me to express what I've gone through, express my, give stories and insight into my experiences. Hopefully, have some friends, family, associates, villains on, you know, arch nemesis on, if I could, and go over what's worked for them and where they think they are in their uh, journey to being authentically their being. I don't know. We'll see. So let's move on because now I'm rambling. So that's the name of the game. The shorts I'm going to put out, are going to have literally nothing to do with the long format. Should I pair these up so that they tie together? Yeah, probably. I mean, again, if somebody's trying to make money off of this, and if somebody's trying to really, be something, then yeah, there's probably certain ways that you should do this that are much more conducive to, you know, making this a relative stream of source. For me, no. I'm literally doing this because I chat a lot, and I'm literally going to create shorts of me jumping on a trampoline because I love jumping. And I just bought my son a mini trampoline. And so now I got to fit in some mini trampoline workouts because that's amazing. Yeah, I love jumping, just up and down, jump, jump, jump. Jump off a curb just to jump for no other reason. So now my shorts are going to be just me showing you my jump routines, jump moves, mostly moves that you could incorporate into your jump routine if you get on that game, or just, see how perfection looks on a mini exercise trampoline because that's what I'll be showing you. Yeah. Either way, they're gonna have nothing to do with each other. Those are gonna be shorts, hopefully pop those out a couple times a week, few times a week, give you some routines. I'll, explain how to get to the link that might show longer versions of my jump techniques, formats, workouts, exercise programs, calorie burner jumps, stuff like that. The long format once a week, gonna be me. I'm gonna be living it up. Will I record any? Maybe if a friend comes on, they don't want to go live, but that's their choice. Either way, I'm probably going to go live. And if it's by myself, then it's definitely live. And script, no. Topics to talk about? No. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. That's part of the spontaneity of being authentically you. A lot of times, honesty and truth are a little bit more reachable when you have nothing prepared and you got to go off the cuff. You know, it's hard to weave in a lie at length when, you don't have some kind of preparation in your head. When you're just winging it, a lot of times you have to go off the reality of your experience because you don't have anything else to go off of. And lies are very, are falsified information. So there's not a lot of basis to them. There's not a lot of solid foundation to them. Your truthful and honest experience has foundation because that's what you experienced. That's what you did. So, there's solidity in that. I think that's a word. There's solidity in that. On falsified information, there's not. You're on a tightrope. You got to balance because a little too much of this, a little too much of that. And then the story doesn't add up as well. Then you fall. Then you got to climb back up based up. Either way, on to the next topic. What does it mean to be authentic? That's kind of what I wanted to talk about because that's the whole goal. Honestly, truthfully, authentically you. I've been reading these series of books that have helped me on my journey, which we'll get into those books. But right now, that might divulge a little too much of my character. Don't want to get too much too deep too quick because I want some of you to come back, although we're still at zero. We're still at the zero. You can't see this. Maybe you can. I don't really know how live works, but that, I'm about to touch it, says zero. So anyway, honestly, truthfully, authentically, you've been reading a series of books that have been helping me on my journey of authenticity, which the whole purpose of reading these books is to help you delve into your inner nature, your inner world, your inner being, the temple within, so that you learn to express yourself authentically, which means whether you're at work, whether you're with a family dinner, or whether you're out with friends at a restaurant, you're the same person in each situation because you're risking friendships, you're risking good family interaction, you're risking your job to be who you're supposed to be your authentic self. You know, you talk the same way, you walk the same way, you act the same way. Nothing's false. It's all truth. It's all the truth of who you are, the honesty of who you are. And then you're authentic in every situation. You act the same. Your demeanor might be different. Obviously, in a professional work meeting, I'm slightly different than this, slightly. When I deal with clients, because I have clients, that's what I do for a living. It involves using the term client. So when I'm with a, juvenile, a kid client, okay, because I work with kids, I act a little bit different than when I'm working with their parent because I'm working on both sides of that fence. When I'm with a parent, sometimes the way I talk and act is a little bit more professional or a little bit more, of the professional language. So I might say, hey, let's try this next time when we discuss a topic. If we say this is what the rule is, then let's make sure that we abide by the rule as well. And we don't just give willy nilly freedom. Okay. When I'm talking to the kid afterwards to help integrate the rule that we may have created in the family from the parent, then it's like, yo, homie, just so you know, you agreed to this rule. So we can change it, but we're looking at a week of following this adult rule. I don't like adult rules, but this is a rule in your house and it came from an adult. So, yo, bro, we got to do this. Okay? Let's try it for a week, see how it works. That's the language I talk. But I'm the same person either way. It just a matter of how I talk. So, that I think gets a little bit to the root of authenticity is what I was talking about. But being the same person, growing into the maturity, which deep down maturity is somebody who is becoming more responsible to being themselves, which means I don't falsify information. I don't act different out with my buddies versus at home with my spouse. And I've gotten better at it. Am I doing it exactly the right way? No, probably not. I don't know if anybody is. Hopefully, maybe I'll meet him one day. But right now, I'll call my wife, homie. She calls me in the middle of a work day. If I got a gap, pick up the phone. What up, homie? What's going down, bro? Does she appreciate it when I call her bro? Not always, but that's just how I roll. I like to call people bro. I'll call anybody bro. I'll call my mom bro sometimes, but I definitely call my wife homie. What up, Holmes? What do you need, homie? Okay, because that's the authenticity. That's being me all the time. Hopefully, all the time. Sometimes I flounder and falter. It's part of those egos. The work ego, the money ego, the daddy ego, the spouse ego, you know, they're all bracketed in their own little corners. They don't want to perish. They want to live. They want to fight for their right to survive. But you got to kill them, just bluntly. You got to put these things out, bury the dead with the dead, as Jesus would say, so that we don't have that ego anymore. And then we can just roll on. We're just ourselves. Just talk like ourselves, walk like ourselves, thinks like ourselves. So that is part of what these episodes are about. Hopefully, I can meet some people that can help me give me some information. And hopefully, as I learn as I go, and I can share what worked for me. And, maybe at some point I'll have enough people watching this, commenting this, they'd call me out and say, wait, in episode 372, didn't you say this? Now in episode 1405, you're saying this, you know? Those are the I want to be called out. Okay. So when I talk to my clients, I tell them the same thing. I tell my clients, look, call me out. Tell me I'm not doing things right, you know, so that I get better. So, that's the honesty part. I want to be honest with myself, and maybe I need those assistants to be honest with myself. Maybe I need other people to say, you didn't say this right, or you said this, and now you're acting like this. I'm confused. I'm confused. Look at me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm confused. So part of this is your help on me. Okay. So next thing, why vulnerability and honesty matter. Okay. I'm looking at some bullet points that I had created for me. I did not create these myself. I used the description and I had a system create some bullet points that might be good to talk about in episode 1. So, when you are being honest, when you are being truthful to yourself, that naturally means that you need to be more honest and truthful outwardly. So, I might call somebody out on something and then realize, an hour later or 2 hours later, I acted the same way or relatively close to the same way with my own partner or spouse or friend. And I just called the client out on, you know, you don't act like this. You don't need to say this. This isn't your game. Let them figure this out for themselves. Worry about yourself. And then I go and call somebody out on their stuff and go, okay, well, I guess I haven't gotten over that part of myself. So this is where I need to be honest and admit to myself, look, don't call anybody out on this because you're still doing it. You still got tested by your parents or a friend, and then you falsified something or you embellished some part of yourself or some part of your story to make it sound better. No, not good. Now I have to admit this. When I realize this, my goal is to admit it to somebody else. Hopefully, the client that I just caught myself, being a hypocrite on. So then in the next session, next time I see them that week or next week, I can admit them and go, look, I said this because you were doing this. And look, I'm still struggling with this. Look at what happened 2 hours after I left, dropped you off. Look at what I did. Let me explain this story to you of how I messed up. So that's me being honest, honestly putting my reputation on the line, being a bit vulnerable so they can see, look, you're telling me to act different. You're not even acting different. I don't want to work with you anymore. That can happen. Has it happened? Maybe. People have definitely stopped working with me. Boom. So that's like, being honest with ourselves, telling ourselves the truth so that we can figure out how to be different, because one of our main goals, at least as far as I am understanding, is your goal is to change yourself if you want to. That's the road I'm on. I would like to be, different, better. So the goal is to change myself. Changing myself, being a better version of myself is the best message for others. It helps others realize that they need to change themselves if they want, or that they can be different because you're being different. So, you know, risking the client, risking the relationship to be 100% truthful, putting it out there, you know? Yeah, boom. Okay, so we're gonna move on from that one. That kinda hit on the next bullet point I wanna talk about, which was the challenges of staying true to yourself. Obviously, that is challenging because, we have natural biases. We naturally wanna think that we're doing things right. We naturally wanna think that we've made the right decision for ourselves or that we made the right prediction, you know? And these are hard things to catch. I think part of the challenge is these are hard things to catch for ourselves. It's easy for me to catch a client or a coworker or somebody outside of myself. It's easy for me to catch them and like, hey, like, you're saying that this works every time, although I remember multiple times where you had said this didn't work. So you're probably just remembering the times that you said it would work and it did, because that confirms that you're right a lot of the time, as opposed to the other 50% that I noticed, where you were like, you know, didn't work that time. We tend to void those out. I'm using this app and, it's spot on, just tells me my mood that day. You know, you're probably missing the amount of times that I noticed that you said, "Oh, the app's not quite off today," Maybe it's because I put in the wrong date or the wrong info, you know? I think I'm saying a lot. This is good. It's good for me to go live. Maybe I can watch this back so that I, can fix some of my language barriers. I got quite a few of them. That's the challenge, though, is looking back at myself. Where am I thinking that I'm right all the time? Where am I believing that I've confirmed new behaviors? How many times do I miss? How many times do I try to reform someone when I'm still working on a very similar issue within myself? Where am I trying to teach someone to be better? Like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to budget so that you're better with your money. And I'm not budgeting. And I just look at my account and I'm like, okay, well, I'm putting gas in and I'm fasting for a majority of the next 5 days because I overspent on expensive coffees. That's my issue. That's personal. That's an honest truth right there that I'm shooting out to you guys. I spend an exorbitant amount of money on black coffee, vanilla lattes, drip coffees. I love it. I love coffee. It's one of the first drinks I have when I wake up. I wake up, within an hour, I'm making myself delicious black coffee with, butter and honey and milk. Butter, honey, milk coffee. That's my game. And I'll just be honest, that seems like a wizardly thing. I have the feeling or the thinking that wizards don't eat breakfast. They're not like cooking bacon and eggs for themselves. They're probably drinking some kind of concocted potion or formula or elixir. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, let's go with that. I think wizards make elixirs. So I think that, that's my wizardly elixir because I don't think wizards eat breakfast. I think they make butter, falafadorf anyway. The wizard, I gotta get this right because this is the channel I created. Okay, so let's start over. The eternal wizard sage of falafadorf. I'm gonna make the educated assumption that he doesn't eat breakfast, that he makes himself an elixir, and that falafadorf's elixir, which is me, which is falafadorf's elixir, is black coffee with good chunk of butter, a good splits of honey, and a good dose of milk mixed, refinedly mixed. I mean, so that's like each portion is equal to itself. That's what he takes in the morning. So, oh man, that was a way off topic. I didn't even really know what I was talking about, but the challenges, right, of staying true to ourselves. Yeah, you need to budget. Let's get better. You have zero money in savings. Oh, I spent $100 on elixirs this week. Okay. Well, maybe I got some issues too. Maybe let me throw that out there on the red carpet, as they say, so that you can see, Yeah, I'm teaching you how to budget, but I'm really not teaching you. We're just reviewing how budgeting works because I need to learn some of this too. So let's learn this together. And then maybe you have some extra money in savings. Maybe I learn to hamper down my elixir addiction. Two parts to one stone, six birds to 11. Whatever the statement needs to be, metaphorically, we're both learning, we're both on this, we're both challenging the bridge of the fence. That sounds right. Sounds like bumper sticker. We're both challenging the bridge of the fence. At least a starter point. But either way, on to the next. The goal of this podcast, honestly, just to be me. That's the whole goal. To be me, to be more truthful, to be more honest, so that maybe I'll be more authentic. Maybe my road, my journey to being more authentic will help one person. That's it. That's all I need. One. If I help one person be more of themselves at the end of this, I think I can claim that as a win. One person, because all my work with clients is not to like help them save more money, help them move out of their parents, help them finish high school, help them be a, more honest and word abiding parent. My ultimate goal is for people to be more of themselves and just put it on the table, be themselves. And if the parent doesn't like it, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, I don't want somebody to go down a bad road. So, there is the conversation about what it means, what is the healthy version of being more of ourselves, but to be more of ourselves. This is the music I like. I get it, Grandma, that you don't like this band because it has some dark undertones and they yell a lot. But guess what? I'm not doing anything bad. I'm going to bed at my, you know, regimented bedtime every night that you request. So, what does it matter that I listen to some music with dark undertones and a lot of screaming in it? I do the dishes. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything, you know, that's going to get me in trouble with the law or something. No, this is just the music I like. We're a generation apart. There's a whole gap of a generation between us. The music has changed, or this is just me. Maybe the music hasn't changed. Maybe just this is the music I like. I mean, in your day, as me speaking to them, in your day, Elvis was a bad person. I mean, literally, hip jiving to Jailhouse Rock? You kidding me? No, that'll get you punished in jail. I mean, sinner, sinner, chicken dinner. So these are the conversations. All I want is for that person, that client, to be more of themselves and help work out an understanding that this is me. I will live by your rules, but your rules can't be to listen to your music. That inhibits my growth in becoming me. That's kind of the goal. So obviously, that's for everybody listening. That's for everybody I interact with. But, big part of the goal of this is like for me to be called out on my hypocrisies, my unhonesty, my untruthfulness, my unauthentic actions, so that I just become more authentic. And maybe hopefully people jump on that bandwagon and authenticity just starts rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay, so what's ahead? Ooh, okay, I should wrap this up. I can't believe I've been talking for almost 34 minutes live by myself. What's ahead is I don't know. I didn't even know what to call this episode. I mean, I literally just called it episode 1, and then I just put dash introduction at Wizard Falafador. That is at WIZARD capital FALOUPHADORF. Wizard Falafadorf. On the channel, the Eternal Wizard Sage of Falafadorf. The Eternal Wizard Sage of Falafadorf. At Wizard Falafadorf. So Didn't know what to name it. Don't know what's ahead. The description of this episode is literally the description of the show. Because what am I going to write differently? I don't like writing. I like writing cursive, Sometimes I'll write some gratefuls, thankfuls, yeah, appreciations. Sometimes I'll write those in cursive, sometimes with the left hand too. But I like writing like that. Paperwork, no. Client notes, intake paperwork, intake forms. I'm months behind because I just talk to people, drop them off, and roll. And then when I'm done, I go home. And then it's like, oh, shoot, I should do an hour of paperwork before I go to bed. Not going to happen. I don't want to write things. I don't want to script out episodes. I don't want to plan out a week's worth of episodes or a month worth of episodes and build on each other. No, showing up unplanned, unprepared. I don't have a hotel stay. I don't got money in my pocket. I don't know where I'm going to wash my tunic later this afternoon because I've been wearing it for a week. I don't know. I'm just going to show up, hope I have a place to sleep, spread the message that I'm there for, and then dust my sandals off and leave. I think that's a biblical principle. Yeah, I think so. Or a spiritual principle, or a godly law, or a universal belief. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that helps me because it requires no preparation or paperwork. So, what's ahead? I have no idea. It will say episode 2, you know, I don't know, episode 2 dash something at Wizard Flofferdorf. The description will be the same. Now, maybe if I have a guest on or somebody helping me do it, then maybe I'll put some of their info in there, who they are, what they do. I don't know. I think other podcasts do that. But description, the same. Episode, the number. Closing thoughts? No. Nothing to close with. No more thoughts to engage with. I spoke too much, too long. Call to action. Okay, so this is what the last bullet point said, because then I'm going to end this because we're coming up to 40 minutes. Call to action. Ask listeners to subscribe, leave a review, follow on social media to continue the journey. I don't know what journey you're on. All I can know is the journey that I'm on. Can we engage in our journeys? Do they weave, overlap? Hopefully. And if they do, share some stories, some experiences, some humor, some gifts. I don't know. Hopefully we overlap. Hopefully we build each other up so that we both, whether we stay together long term or we're only together for a moment, we have helped express some guidance and insight that leads you, me, to more of ourselves. That's the whole game. So if you want to subscribe, do it. But I also say don't, maybe 6 years from now, I have 0 subscribers and 0 views still. I don't know. But either way, if you watch this, please leave. Please go outside. When you're done, don't subscribe. Don't spend any more time on the screen unless it's part of your job, unless it's part of who you are, or unless you need to learn some information. Just do it with intelligence, I mean, I've been down that game. I understand the scroll game. I had a city job once. And that's what I did a lot of because there was a lot of paperwork. And again, I wasn't good at it. I was reprimanded twice before I finally quit. Reprimanded twice. Second time, the mayor was there. The mayor of the city came in to assist in the second reprimanding because I wasn't I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just miscommunicating, not showing up to work enough. But either way, I mean, I scrolled because I didn't have anything else to do. I think if I would have just sat in silence at a park with my eyes closed, probably would have been more productive. So that is my call to action. Watch when you want to watch, do it intelligently, and when you're wanting to know more of yourself, get outside, socialize, communicate with others in real time, real life. Okay. 39 minutes and 30 seconds in. I'm just going to say I love you. Thank you very much. Love, love, love. It's a big thing I'm about, Love yourself, love others, learn yourself. Be more honest with yourself, be more truthful with yourself, and hopefully you too will be on the journey to being authentically you. One more time, I love you and thank you.